Am I the asshole for continuing to read when my husband and dad came into the room? Yesterday my dad came over to speak privately to my husband, so I did what I usually do when I'm alone in the evenings and read my book. At some point, they both came into the room I was in. Neither of them said a word, so I didn't realize they wanted to speak with me, so I just kept reading. Honestly, I could kind of feel a weird tension in the room, but I chalked it up to them having a disagreement, which is common and not because of something I was doing wrong. However, my husband finally got fed up and asked me in an angry tone if I was going to put my book down. I told him I would in a second since I had almost finished the chapter. That was a mistake because he got even angrier and told me to put it down now. I did, and my dad lectured me about how rude I was for continuing to read when I had a guest over who needed to talk to me about something important. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. Excuse me, would you mind putting the book down? We need to talk about something important. Very easy to say, polite, doesn't require anyone to be a mind reader. Did you ever find out what this important thing was that they needed to talk to you about but wouldn't actually talk to you about talking about? And was it actually important enough to interrupt reading? Not the asshole. If they wanted to, then they should have initiated the conversation. Obviously you were preoccupied. It is not like you were reading, they tried to talk to you, and then you blew them off. There is no reason they should be upset. Not the asshole. Do your husband and father generally expect women to stand to attention when they enter a room? Couldn't one of them have coughed, or used their vocal cords in some fashion to alert you? For example, dearest, we'd like your opinion on the state of 4x? Or, daughter mine, we need your attention, or, hey, got a sec? Not the asshole. Did they even announce themselves? Then they just expect you to just join in the conversation despite no clear indication of invitation? And your husband is not a guest to you, he's your husband, for goodness sake. Is there more to the story? Like, why did your father come over to talk to your husband about something important? And then later they both expect you to drop everything when they decide to talk to you about it? If your father had something important to share, why didn't he come over and speak to both you and your husband, together? Both dad and husband seem like and you for letting them treat you like an afterthought. Not the asshole. Dad and husband shoulda just said something right off the bat, like, we need to talk, or W.E. Not the asshole. Your husband and your father are both old enough to use their words. It's not your responsibility to attempt to read their minds and know that they want to discuss something important, when they don't speak up. So you married a jagoff like your dad? That sucks, but it's reversible. Not the asshole. Am I the asshole for telling him to find a babysitter for his kids or he can stay home with them? 28F and my fiancé is 29M. He has full custody of his 2 daughters and 1 son from his previous relationship. I have been with him for 5 years. His oldest is 10. When the world crashed and burned, the kids were put into remote learning. Because I was the one with a smaller income, I ended up having to stay home with the kids while he continued working. This year the school decided to stay remote, so I am still home. I worked remotely for a little while but soon was terminated due to the noise the kids made and not having a space away from the chaos. We have not had a break in over 2 years. No one offers to help with the kids. We never have date nights. Nothing. The kids are always here. Their mother is a deadbeat. She took them for 4 hours the other day, despite having agreed to have them for 3 nights. The kids now hate her. We do too. Anyways, we got invited out tonight and I'm itching to get out of this house. Our buddy is having a small get-together at his place, 5 people, including us. We found out a week ago. Since this point I have asked my fiancé to find a sitter multiple times. I have searched as well. I've asked my mom and my gram, both of which cannot. So I told him to ask his mother. He has given every single excuse not to. I need to get out of this house. After all, I'm the one who is constantly home with the kids and I need a break. I need adult time. Period. So I told him either he finds a sitter or he can stay home with the kids while I go out. In which case he says that I am taking things too far and that I am acting like it's the end of the world. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You need to rethink this whole relationship. You are a convenience to him. Literally an unpaid worker. You should never ever stop working to support someone else's children when there's no discussion of the relationship becoming permanent. Edit. I do see where said fiancé now, my mistake. However, what I'm trying to convey is that the is getting boxed into a situation where she will be 100% dependent on her fiancé and caring for children that can be taken away a moment's notice until she is legally tied to them. I'm not saying her fiancé isn't a great guy. But he could end this relationship tomorrow, tonight. And Op would be left with no job. Likely no savings. A gap in her job history. And a broken heart when kids she's grown to love are suddenly not there anymore. Not the asshole you sacrificed your job and freedom for your partner and his kids, and you can't even have a night off? Nope, fuck that. It feels like he's taking you for granted here and that's not on. Go out and have fun. Not the asshole. His kid's his responsibility. Any negotiation starts from there. He doesn't get to start with the idea that you are somehow obligated to do your part. There is no your part to begin with. Not the asshole. Go and be free, have an adult night and decompress. You're a star for sure. I would have snapped long ago if I were in your shoes. You deserve a break. And frankly they're his kids not yours. He needs to step up and parent them and cut you some slack. Not the asshole. Even if you were the kid's biomom, you'd still need your own life and time to yourself here and there. If your fiancé doesn't think you deserve a night off after almost 2 years of sacrificing your job and your time to raise and educate kids that aren't even yours, then his attitude needs a severe adjustment. If he had been a single father on his own in this situation, what would he have done then? He'd have been royally screwed, that's what. In my opinion he should be thanking whatever deity he believes in every day of his life that he and his kids have you. Their lives would have been turmoil otherwise. Not the asshole. I'm concerned that you ended up being out of work because of the kids and then ended up as SAHP. Is your fiancé covering all the bills? Why won't his mother look after the kids? Are there no regular babysitters available? Not the asshole and stop being more of a parent that he is. He needs to step up for his children and not just leave it to you. Get a job, have some independence and make sure he stops taking you for granted. I bet he's been out in the last year. Not the asshole. And to everyone saying he can stay home and babysit, he is not a babysitter, he is a parent. A parent cannot babysit their own children. If he cannot appreciate all that you have sacrificed for his children, then I would urge you to reconsider the health of this relationship. Am I the asshole for telling my dad that I had a dildo before he tried to search through my drawers? So I'm a 22-year-old woman. I'm in college so I still stay with my parents. Well, my whole house is sick and I had borrowed some of his naproxen, and he came to my room to look for it. He asked beforehand and I said sure. But he goes to open my bedside drawers, and I politely asked him to please not look in them. He gets mad, and says, "Why? What's in there? You got fucking weed in there or something?" And continues to try to open it. This made me upset, because even though I live in their house, I am an adult and I deserve some level of privacy. So I said, confidently and assertively, "No, but I got a dildo in there." And he made a disgusted face and was like, "Come on, you did not have to say that." I did not ask what was in there. I was like, "Well, I tried to tell you not to look in there and you wanted to know so bad. Please don't look through my drawers." When I was a teenager this was a frequent occurrence and I am not trying to have him do it again. Now it's all awkward and he's avoiding me. I mean, am I wrong? Did I go too far? I get that I live here, but I work full-time and pay my bills, I go to school, I am an adult. It was awkward, but it would have been worse if he saw it in there himself. Not the asshole. Please get bigger dildos to leave in more places in case he continues to snoop. Tears of joy. What's in there? Come on, you did not have to say that. I did not ask what was in there. Part of me really wants to dismiss this as, oh come on, no one would say that. But well, all know people say and do exactly this. Not the asshole, and you are a fucking hero that I wish I could be. Not the asshole. Dude asked a question, you answered. Either he opens the drawer and sees it or you tell him like you did. Not the asshole. You're 22 and he should not go looking through your things if he isn't ready for the truth. Not the asshole. Your dad clearly asked what was in there, not your fault he didn't like the answer. Agree. Definitely not the asshole. If you're specifically seeking a critical review, perhaps you did not have to use the word dildo, but he got what he asked for, to embarrass himself by being a jerk. Good luck with your studies. Moving out may be healthier for you. Edit. Typo. Not the asshole. He deserved to be smacked with some harsh reality that you are a grown-up now since he wouldn't respect your privacy. Not the asshole. He shouldn't have asked if he couldn't handle the truth. You deserve your privacy as long as you are a member of the household. You could have waited and yelled, "Stop looking at my sex toys." Am I the asshole for demanding my sister never enter my home again after destroying my books? I am an avid reader. I have a whole library in one room of my house, wall-to-wall bookcases, a reading chair, etc., etc. I have the whole set of Harry Potter books on my specials bookcase. The case where I keep my collector's edition and books that are sentimental to me. The reason why I keep them is because my grandfather bought me one in the year the fourth was released. He died of cancer 4 months later, a week before Christmas. I bought the rest of the books as they were released due to the fact that they were the last things he ever bought me. My sister, 27, came over at Christmas this year. She was diagnosed with bipolar disorder 15 years ago, and it causes her to act out sometimes. She usually acts out with words but not actions. She got upset at me because I didn't spend a lot of money on her for Christmas this year. I bought her a pair of PJs, some headphones, a phone case, 3 pairs of Lululemon yoga pants and a pair of slippers. It seems that it was one of her off days because she yelled at me, called me a CNT and a BTCH, and said that I don't care about her. All I care about are my stupid books. She then stormed out of the room. I thought nothing of it until she came back with a smirk and said, "Maybe you shouldn't value books over family." When I went to my room, she had taken my Harry Potter books and ripped the covers off of them, ripped pages out of them and ripped the pages up. She did this to a few other books which are easily replaceable, so whatever. I blew up at her. I kicked her out of my house and told her not to come back until she apologizes for what she did, and from now on, she will be supervised 100% of the time unless she's using the bathroom. My family is furious with me. They have told me I need to apologize to my sister due to the fact that it was her mental illness. I have also been told that, books are just paper. Buy some new ones. You can afford it. I feel bad, but these books mattered to me since they were from my grandfather, and no one seems to understand that it's not the monetary value, it is the sentimental value. Am I the asshole? ETA. I have 3 brothers and 3 sisters. My dad, 1 brother and 1 sister are fully supportive of me putting my foot down. None of them read, so they aren't fully comprehending, but they understand where I am coming from since she did something like this to my brother before. My mom, 2 other brothers and other sister are the ones on my case about this. The sister who did this is refusing to acknowledge any wrongdoing and has been bad-mouthing me. Everyone but my mom was there for this event. Parents can't be in the same room since they're divorced, so we do 2 Christmas events every year, so they seem to be throwing sides. My mom has been enabling my sister for years, so no surprise that she's on her side. Edit 2. There have been some comments saying that I am just trying to bash people with mental health illnesses. That is not true. I am going by what she herself told me about what she has been diagnosed with. Since I am not a mental health professional, I don't know how bipolar disorder affects each person. Mental illness is not a joke, and it is not something I would look down on anyone for. Not the asshole, and your sister can't use her mental illness to act out. She knew exactly what she was doing as she went right to the books that meant the most. Additionally, your family in enabling her and not proving the support or boundaries that will allow her to improve. Don't let her back in. Not the asshole. Mental illness is a very real, legit thing. Spite and malice, however, are not mental illness. Not the asshole. Having a mental illness does not excuse your bad behavior towards others. Not the asshole. No. I'm bipolar. My behavior is still on me, and it's on your sister, too. It's not a fucking excuse to behave like a deranged, undisciplined fucking toddler. Shit like her behavior gives those of us managing bipolar a bad name. She destroyed sentimental property. Until she forks over a lot of money, proves she's in therapy and on some meds, and gives a buttload of sincere apologies, she would be dead to me. And your family, supporting that kind of bullshit behavior? They can suffer her. Away from you, preferably. Save yourself. Avoid all of them. Not the asshole. This is about trust. You cannot trust her to respect your things. You are prepared to have a relationship with her, but on your terms. Your family needs to respect that your relationship with your sister is not the same as their relationship. Personally, I wouldn't have her at your house. If she's going to go off, let it be somewhere else. Your sister will continue this behavior because your family supports and excuses it. Mental illness is a reason, not permission, for her actions. She had the option to apologize after her episode was over, but her smug actions are telling me it is less to do with her condition, more to do with your family enabling her. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. First, you got her a lot of things for Christmas. Second, your belongings are yours, and disrespecting your things is the same as disrespecting you. Third, these books are special to you. And your family is not willing to try and understand this. Not the asshole. Your present to her was probably like $400. That's a good ass present, sis. Your sister is the asshole here for sure. Same with your fam that is taking her side. Kick 'em all out.